Let's call it to order.
All right. Well, as the presiding officer, Mr. Ford, why don't you get us started, please?
I think we need a roll call. Right?
Yes. We are. Let's see. So at 12:07. All right. Dr. Felton. Brian Ford.
Here.
Mayor Garrett.
Here.
Charlotte Jones.
Here.
Bobby Levin.
Here.
Chief McKee.
Here.
Fred Prime. Pam Schurmeyer and Dan Sugg.
Do you need a motion to excuse them?
Yeah, let's do a motion to excuse them.
I'll make the motion to excuse them.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right.
Brings us to approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. There's your mic.
Oh, and there is Mr. Pine.
We have a quorum. I'm going to cede the gavel.
All right.
Here, you
Hello.
want to share? We can share.
Yeah.
You'll need it more than me.
I
'cause
know.
now you're
I
back
was
in the
like,
hot seat.
I was a scheduling fiend. Sorry. We're on the approval of minutes.
Okay.
And we're just-
Have we reviewed the minutes?
Of course, we already looked at our
Already
packet.
reviewed the minutes?
Of course, yeah.
In here, I mean, okay. So, and we've, okay, well, we'll take an order to approve the minutes as
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
presented.
I'll second that.
All right, made support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, okay, motion carries. All right, financial review.
Financial review. Yeah. Sorry,
Right,
Mom,
it's
we'll
the
have to
same.
wait.
Okay,
So you'll notice there's actually there's no reports for you to review this meeting. We are, Pam's been in the midst of preparing and doing the annual audit this year. So that just happened to coincide with this meeting. So you will have all of your reports next month. At the September meeting, but I wanted to make sure that remained on there so we could give you that little update.
Got it. Okay. To move on to the committee reports.
Committee reports, we are carrying on. I'm actually going to kind of skip over that one too because we have.
And she caught you twice.
I know, hold on one moment, please. Mom, real quick. Hey.
You work from home?
Oh, that's okay.
No worries.
That's okay.
I'm sitting there.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Hi. All is well with children. So for committee reports, actually the bulk of what the committees have been discussing, promotions and whatnot, is actually the Lathrup Village Music Festival, which is an agenda item later. So if you don't mind, I say we skip over that and we'll get to the meat and potatoes of the committee reports at that point.
Okay.
Other business.
All right, so, and that's, okay. So then we move on to other business.
Yeah.
The
So,
CED.
Yep, you've got my monthly report in here. We've had some good activity with the Planning Commission and new businesses coming. We've got our new 44 Burrito there, our food truck that is going to be permanently locating just south, actually, just across from you two ladies, in the former Ruby Lee's space. So she has gotten her site plan approvals and is working on her interior build out now. So we've got her coming in. We've got a new proposed renovation to the property adjacent to City Hall, just south of us. They're hoping to do a laundromat, and the planning commission has been discussing different standards for parking and laundromat uses. And they are going through, they're going through the review process with myself and the planners to make sure that their site plans are in good shape, and they'll be going to the planning commission.
Where would that be located?
Right next door, just south of City Hall in the building here. He's got, overall the plans are to completely renovate the facade and actually make it look more like the plaza south of 696. It's a really sharp update, so.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I mean, it would represent a really beautiful investment. We're just trying to make sure that we get their site plans in good order before they can go to the planning commission, and really we've got some challenges to work through with their parking requirements. But that part's moving forward. We do have quite a few properties that are listed for lease throughout the district, so we're going to be working hard here in the next few weeks to get an updated property list and start and making sure we have all of that information out and available. And several calls. I met with Cernow shortly before my vacation and talked about some of their upcoming plans to renovate their other facilities. So, and as I'm sure you've all seen, we're moving full steam ahead on Panera, and they are still on track as far as we know to have everything, framed in, so they can work on the interior over the winter months, and with a target opening date of sometime next spring. So we're moving through that. We also, we're just continuing forward with our partnerships with Main Street Oakland County, with Oak Park and Southfield on our business workshops. We will be having a networking, actually Thursday, let's not jump too far ahead. Thursday, we're going to have an RU e-commerce ready lunch and learn being hosted in Southfield. So we're having that, like I said, this Thursday from 11:30 to 1, and then we're going to have a holiday networking event with those communities at the Dog and Pony Show in Oak Park in November. So still continuing on with those kind of partnerships, and then also just to let you all know that we engaged with Hortalist to tackle the flower beds and the weeding around City Hall. It was desperately needed, so we contacted them, and we'll be working to make sure we have an RFP put out this fall over the winter to make sure that we can have those kinds of services continue.
This is for next year.
Yes, for 2024 and hopefully beyond.
Oh,
So,
because we lost our volunteer base.
yes.
You might want to explain that.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for another time. I have another meeting scheduled first.
Okay.
So that's where we're at with my report. Were there any other questions?
The last bullet, the $20,000, where do we stand on that?
We are we're slowly getting donations, but we didn't get out the gate quite as I was hoping we would. I know we had some come through. I honestly have not looked at what we've raised since I got back from vacation. We're probably just over or just around $1,000 at this point.
Just under what?
Just around $1,000 at this point.
wow.
So we have a ways to go. We have a ways to go.
I did donate and it seems like it didn't take. So I'll look at it again.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Kelly? It didn't
So it
take-
says something about you don't have to pay now, so I gave 20,000, and it says something about you don't have to pay now, and I press submit, and then I've yet to see my name on the E's newsletter.
Like I said, I just got back yesterday.
So it might have taken. It's just okay.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten
Oh,
through
okay.
all my stuff
Scratch
yet, but-
everything I just said.
Oh, it's not automated. You actually manually.
No, I have, so for the e-newsletter, I do highlight everybody that's donated so
Yeah, that's
far.
what I
I
mean.
do get an automated message
But and you.
from Patronicity, right?
Right.
I'm still sifting through quite a bit, so.
I just personally think that if you're like elected in Lathrup, that you probably would want to give to the beautification of
Makes
parks.
sense, yeah.
Right.
I have a question though. How are you getting the word out there for people to donate?
Yeah.
So it's been in the e-newsletter, it's,
Okay.
it's in the e-news, it's on our social media, it's on the city's website. I did speak with a reporter from the Southfield Sun, and, spoke with her. The last time I spoke to her just before I left, and she had said it was going to come up in I thought it was going to be in the August 10th edition of the Sun. Usually I have one of those shoved right under my door, so it's supposed to be in the Southfield Sun. We certainly need to do a far better job of getting it out there, right? I know Brittany will be passing out flyers to all the businesses this week and next week for both this event and the music festival. So
Okay.
really trying, but certainly please help us spread.
Yeah, if we could get a flyer, then everyone who comes through our building, because I'm sure you don't care if they are non-Lathrop residents,
No, absolutely.
then we will.
Raise $20,000.
We'll do our darndest.
Yeah. Question on that, to follow her question on that. Did you guys do the homeowners association?
No, but you know what? I've been in communication with, I think he's their president, like their board president,
Yeah.
recently for some other.
See if they
some
could do an
e-newsletter
e-blast
things.
on
So
their
I'll,
end.
I'll definitely chat with
Okay,
him.
and then what about business owners, like the building owner, like Surnow, right? Could we do a specific email drive just to, I don't know, who else owns it? Surnow,
To all the
I mean,
property
yeah.
owners. Yep.
I mean, they have a vested interest. for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I
So,
think, Surnow's a generous guy, right? And then what about if each of us committed to sending the link out to 5 people?
that would be marvelous.
Because you sent the link to us, we have the link, right? So yeah, we can put it up on our stuff, but what if we all made a commitment to select 5 people?
I think that sounds marvelous.
So I'm in the website right now, and you don't typically tend to page down, and it's not in the banner up high.
That's a
so-
problem.
Oh, it's not, because I have it in that news section.
People don't do
Which
that.
is, you gotta scroll
Human
down to see
nature,
it.
human nature,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with Brian. Like, you don't even have to look, like, boom, it is in your face.
Yeah, it
It's
should
right there.
just say,
Okay.
hello,
Because people, yeah,
We want
human
your
nature,
money.
they're not gonna, unless they're hunting for something to see it.
for a worthy cause.
Page banner, all right.
What if we had your group do like the youth get involved and do like a car wash, and all the proceeds go to Patronicity? Something like that. It's a service opportunity for the community, right?
Sure.
Or
What
the
youth group?
what's the other one? Is it the Kevin? Is that his name, or Keith? Ken with the Boys to Men?
Mark?
Mark. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe his group. No, that's not going to happen. I'm just trying to brainstorm ways because your
I appreciate it,
huge.
but I mean, I'll stop.
Right.
I'll stop.
Because if the kids could do, a car wash, a whatever,
Right.
all of the funds that they raise could go to Patronicity.
What's our window on that?
We have it
Fundraise.
open until, and I can extend the date. The patronicity is open until the end of October. I think October, technically it closes October 31st at like 11:45 p.m. or something.
Yeah, just before midnight.
I can certainly extend it as
Okay.
far out as we want it. And I know I did talk to one of my colleagues at the county, and they had suggested maybe even they had heard of another grant through the state that we might be able to leverage to help with that. So I'll be looking into that one as well. Right, see if maybe we can get some of that. But these are all really good ideas. So.
Okay. And then two other questions, I guess, generally related to the report. You guys met with the road commission folks, and there's not anything new there.
We know that they're planning to do work in spring, summer next year. And it's more than just light resurfacing, but less than full reconstruction. They are going to make some ditching, stormwater improvements, but not many. I have said, when are we doing our public meetings? How many are we doing them? Can I start telling people? When can we start? Just hold on a minute. Is kind of the response that I've gotten. They do intend to, like, I haven't even seen the final construction design.
Okay.
I know that they are intending to, upgrade the existing light at Sunset Golden Gate to be a mast arm, and I mean they're just upgrading the whole thing. They are using the environmental assessment report that was submitted for the overall reconstruction of Southfield Road. They're using that as their guide for where they would like to put additional pedestrian crossings. So clearly they've taken that EA to heart, and the requests over many years from residents and the DDA that yes, we do need pedestrian crossings, but they have not identified those yet. I am cautiously optimistic that we'll be having a public meeting in October, November to really start alerting the community about this project. So
Okay.
so stay tuned. I know I'm also waiting to hear from MDOT on whatever their plans are and how their projects are going to be impacting the city as well. So we'll see.
Got
Could you add to your list for publicizing about the fundraiser? You know, the TV channels have a public announcement section where they always are talking about different fundraisers.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a good idea. Any other questions? All right.
All right. That's it for the committee reports. I'm sorry, or other business, old business?
Old
The
business.
sign?
Yes.
Grants.
So, we received an application for a sign grant from the property owners of 18411 West 12 Mile, Miss Charlotte Jones and her husband, for some new sign to go with their new building. This is in your packet, I have included their full sign package, as well as a memo outlining, what their intentions are to install the new wall sign. This would be an additional wall sign to the signage that was previously existing, and then they will be updating the face panels on the existing monument sign to reflect their current business makeup at their location. So their proposed signage does meet the parameters of the sign ordinance, which is outlined in that table below. And so per the sign grant, they would be eligible to receive a maximum of 50% of their total project cost, or up to $2,000. So it is the recommendation to the board that the board award a sign grant in the amount of $1,730 to the property owners at 18411 West 12 Mile, to be reimbursed upon installation and final approval by the building official. So,
Do y'all need me to take a restroom break right now?
yes, if you would like to recuse yourself, that would be marvelous.
I don't think there's much discussion.
Yeah.
Nope, but we're following our official channels. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
So I did have a question, because I have been
What's the amount? 17's got to be to the letter of the law.
publicly stated from people that I attend logos. Should I recuse myself?
I mean,
Oh, right.
I
Well, this is an aluminum. Are you part of an aluminum local? Like,
I just
did
don't
we-
want to have any type of issues that come up that I was given
Sure,
special
understandable.
Does that make any difference for us in terms of, I guess quorum, if people are here and then they recuse, you just adjust accordingly.
Well, that's why they weren't approved last time, because you
Right.
fell under quorum.
right.
With recusals, though, it doesn't count for the full quorum, right?
No, it doesn't count for the full quorum, but
Yes.
it does. It counts in terms of that particular item that's being voted upon, right? So right now you have a quorum of 6 individuals
Yeah.
on the board. Charlotte's recusal from this particular item doesn't mean that you don't have a quorum. It just means that she is not voting on this
Right.
particular
But
item.
if we
That's what I
include
mean.
Kelly,
So
then
if-
we can't vote.
Correct.
So my point was if you can have the meeting advance with a quorum, and then to the extent let's say you had 6 people and there's 1 person left, that person, because we did start with enough, that 1 person can't vote. You have to have a minimum number of people.
Correct.
To
Yes.
vote.
Yes.
So it would have to be tabled again.
So, it's up to you all. I have not attended one service in that building. Not one.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
mean,
personally see a conflict
I don't
of
see a
interest.
conflict. I mean, I don't know how
I'm
that, is there
comfortable with
kind of
it.
a formal way to, go across the room to, signify whatever your position is, but I don't see a conflict.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you've stated what's going on publicly, you've stated that you're
Yeah.
not a member, that you don't attend.
For sure.
I don't see any reason why you would need to recuse yourself from this.
I said I didn't attend.
Right.
I don't believe I am a member. I have given them money,
Okay.
so
Oh,
I will let
that's
you
fine.
know that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So this
Sure.
application comports with every single requirement, that we're not making any exceptions.
No.
This is to the letter of what we are authorized to grant
Yes.
under, okay.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to award a sign grant for $1,730 to 18411 West 12 Mile Road.
I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor? Well, do we need to deal with this recusal? You're in, right? Are you?
That's what I'm still waiting for. I could always vote no, and
Sure.
I'm still gonna
Well, we
still
don't,
get
right,
it. So.
I mean,
Right.
then there you go.
So,
That's
there you
fine
go.
too. Right.
Exactly. Okay, all those in
Right.
favor?
Aye.
When we have a group that does meet all the requirements, are we required, like, I mean, why, on what circumstance could you say no if they meet all the requirements? Just, curious if there's anything.
If it's not in
I-
keeping with decorating styles, maybe?
Well, and the parameters are pretty tight, right?
I think they are.
They have to, first and foremost, they have to meet the sign standards, the sign ordinance standards.
Yeah, that's why we're confident.
I've not personally
Exactly.
encountered a situation
people.
where
Yes.
there would be
Right.
where you would say no, unless perhaps I guess one example would be if they submitted their sign grant, right, and then between the time that the grant application was submitted and the DDA board met, the sign was installed, and then it would be no, because if it's been
Retro,
installed, the
yeah, it's
DDA
retro, yeah,
cannot
weird.
award funding
For a
for
retro
work
project.
that's already been done, right? So
Got
that's
it.
that's one instance that I can think of. But I can't think of another
Yeah.
instance where you would say no if it meets all the requirements,
Right.
We're
Right.
moving
Just to
on.
the extent that,
right?
something comes in.
I mean,
Okay.
and there's
We can move on.
like a kind of a check and balance within the program guidelines that
Go to the
say,
ladies' room.
if you have, if you've been awarded a grant and then you go out of business, right, within like 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, there's a payback element to it, right? If you get an award and then you go out of business within, immediately, give us our money back, like entirely. 50, 2 years, 50%, a year, 25. So,
And the funds go to the business, not to the whoever's putting the sign.
correct. They go
Okay.
to the business that
Yeah.
has applied.
Got it.
So,
Okay, all right.
and only based on a reimbursement.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything further?
Congratulations. You
Yeah.
you've been awarded.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, anything further on the old business? I think it was just the grant, that address, right? Okay. New business, the music festival?
All right, so this is pretty cool, actually. So, Brittany had mentioned, ages ago, last year even, that she had wanted to have the DDA host our own end of the summer concert. That was, separate from the concert series, but that would also, but that would, still bring the whole community together. And so that had always been our intention from, even last year moving forward. And then, earlier this summer, towards late July, I guess it was, I was approached by a few residents saying, hey, we would like to hold a concert and do something that would, really bring the community together and focus on unity, and can you help, guide us and kind of put us on the right direction. And their intention had always been really to just kind of do it themselves, right, and just make sure they were asking the right people at the city to make sure they were engaging correctly and whatnot. So, well, funny, we were already planning to do this, and we were already starting to plan, and well, why don't we just combine our efforts and make something even better happen? So that's what we've done. We've myself, Brittany, promotions committee, and then there's this group of residents, and as I say in the memo, it's Adam Laurie, Jason Hammond, and Lauren and Bob Barris are helping to coordinate this, and we're moving full steam ahead with having a Lathrup Village Music Festival on Saturday, September 30th from 2 to 8 p.m. We're looking to have between 6 and 8 musicians, and this is heavy Lathrop Village. You know, I'm sure, you know, many of you are familiar with the summer stroll that's happened in previous years. Obviously, we've got the concerts in the park, and we've got a very creative talent base in Lathrop. They kind of fly under the radar sometimes, but they're here and they exist. So musicians are all either Lathrop Village current or former Lathrop Village residents, or have a direct connection to Lathrop Village in some way, shape, or form. We are going to have at least 24 vendors. Again, Lathrop Village businesses. We're going to be bringing them in. We also have residents that either have a home-based business, or they are artist makers that, you know, would like to sell, you know, their goods and wares. They will,
Nice.
you know, they're going to be part of this. We've got Michigan First that had already previously committed to donating $2,500 for this event. We'd already budgeted $5,000, and then the residents actually they already had collected $1,000 of their own funds. So we've got an overall budget of $8,500. So, like I said, it's heavy Lathrop Village in all regards. We are also intending to have a beer tent as part of this. I know that's kind of something that we've bounced around in different committees and the boards, and hey, we've done this before, let's do it again. So overall, we've got our musicians, we've got our Lathrop Village vendors, beer tent, and then we are going to have some food trucks, including 44 Burrito and a brand new food truck. It's actually being operated by one of our planning commissioners. That was a fun discovery to make, Wetzel's Pretzels. So that in a nutshell is kind of where we're at. We've been meeting weekly to discuss, you know, all the ins and outs, promotions and whatnot. We're finalizing the artwork for promotional activities, and hope to be getting flyers and posters out. It was announced in the e-newsletter last week, I think it was, maybe 2 weeks ago, that it's coming. We have not yet fully released the lineup. But so what I am looking for from the board today is a few different motions to keep us moving in our planning efforts. First, our headliner is Dave McMurray. He is a well-known jazz musician, and he has he's got a really, it's jamming. He's got a Grateful Dead jazz tribute that he's been working on, and so he would be our headliner if we are, you know, if you agree to move forward. He does. We are required to give him a deposit to secure him. So I would need a motion to. That's the first motion, or I'm sorry, that's the second motion. The first motion is that the DDA board authorizes myself and Brittany to put together the special liquor license application for this event and get that submitted to the state. And then the second motion is to authorize me to provide the deposit of $1,250 to Dave McMurray to secure him as our headliner. And then the last motion that I'm asking for is for you all to authorize staff to advertise in the Southfield Sun. It would be two advertisements, one in the 6th, a special edition in the 6th, which would be an ad plus a story, and then another advertisement in the Southfield Sun on the 20th. So that.
What's the cost for the ads?
The total cost is $1,361.
So 1,300.
$1,300. There's like the September 6th. That's a special edition. Hi. That's a special edition, so there's and we do get a reduced cost,
Right.
a nonprofit rate. So
Right.
we do get a reduced cost.
That's nice.
That one was, I want to say $700.
Have you guys talked about the cost of doing vinyl signs? Because I'm assuming you're going to want a sign, right?
We are looking into, we have been looking into the signage materials. We do not anticipate any of that to be greater than $1,000.
Right, so
to
you're
get
well
that.
with under budget so far.
We're doing, I'm feeling pretty good about the budget. I mean, we certainly are gonna have, we still need to work at getting some sponsorship dollars for probably the beer tent.
So that's what I wanted to ask. Is there going to be a sponsor form that can be filled out? What is the sponsorship amounts that you're looking for?
You know, we have not,
Gotten that far?
we've not gotten that far, but yes, there will be a sponsorship. Yes, there will be a sponsorship form. Typically,
Who's providing the beer and all that?
we're still working on that. More than likely, we will have to, I know from at least the liquor end of things, because we can do, you know, beer and spirits. For the spirits, we cannot get, Adam has been looking into sponsorship dollars for that. It looks like we'll have to get that retail, from a retail outlet. For the beer, we need to, that will either be also retail, or we may be able to get that from a distributor. We're still working out some of those details.
Okay.
I would imagine from our other, you know, we've done sponsorships previously for the winter market. I want to say it was a couple of years ago. We did winter market and like the tree lighting, and we had our sponsorship levels were around, it was like, I think it was $250 was the low end of sponsorships. It was like $250, $500, $1,000, and $2,500, I think were the levels. So we'll take a look at that and see. I mean, we'd like to keep them affordable, obviously,
Okay.
but cover any extraneous costs.
Okay.
All right, any further questions? If not, we can go to the motions.
Do you want 3 separate motions, or do you want one ginormous motion?
I think 3 separate motions would be ideal.
Well, the first one is to authorize the director to complete and submit the MLCC special
Yes,
license
yes.
applications on behalf of the DDA for it to be held at the municipal park.
Yes, yes. I will make that motion, as so said by our chairman.
I'll second that
Any
motion.
Support? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Second motion to authorize the DDA director to enter into a contract and agreement with the entertainment David McMurray at the festival, and to provide a $1,250 deposit with the balance, which total is $2,500, due following a performance.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Second.
Made, support. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Last motion to authorize the staff to advertise in the festival in the Southfield Sun, $1,361.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right. Any support? All's in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Awesome.
Motion carries.
Thank you all. I appreciate it very much.
Public comment?
I guess our
See any?
public has departed.
One year, didn't we have a beer truck? wasn't that a truck and he had those louvers? I don't know what you guys call
Oh.
them.
Yeah.
That's what, that's,
Tabs.
that's what we've
You
always.
tell I don't drink a
You
lot of
don't
beer.
know what you call them.
Yes, I know, a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Remember that truck?
like
It was
that.
white and he had those
Yes,
louver things
we've
on the
always
inside.
had those.
Is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
trailer?
A trailer from a distributor.
That's
Oh,
okay.
and who is gonna, I forgot to ask that, who would be, is there gonna be a bartender there, or?
We are gonna have volunteers. We are gonna be soliciting volunteers to help with the entire event, right? From setup on Friday to actually working the event. We've already got 2 or 3 volunteers for the beer tent, and 2 of them are bartenders. So, my intent is to make sure.
What happened to
There
the
they go.
bartending school down the street? Is it still in business or did it go under?
As far as I know,
Yeah,
it's still, I think it's still
They're
open.
still open.
The bartending school? Because I could have sworn I saw a lease sign or something in that
Next
space.
door.
Oh, is it next door? Maybe they have someone that they could do as a promotion opportunity for the bartending school.
And Susie, this is a, if you have 6 acts or 7 acts, what is this, like a 8-hour, 7-hour
Yes,
deal?
yes, it's like
or-
Woodstock.
Yes. Yep.
I'm just
It's
saying.
like Woodstock. Yes. So we're maybe not quite like
It's
Woodstock,
not
kind of,
exactly.
but
Okay, fine.
it's our version.
The dad is there, so you tie dye and patchouli oil.
I know. Bring on the hippies, right? No, it's we're looking at approximately, and we're still obviously kind of working through the schedule, but we're thinking half hour, 45-minute sets, depending on the act. 15, 20 minutes in between. We are going to have, I don't know if any of you remember Vern English, who was on the DDA board before. He's actually a DJ, so we're trying to get Vern to say yes, to be our in-between, our DJ for
MC
in-between.
or something? Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
I thought
so-
Kelly was going to do that.
Do what, I'm sorry.
Be
Do what,
the
sing?
MC. You're going to be the MC?
Oh, absolutely, I would love to.
Mixed
Wear your
master
top hat.
mare.
Yeah, mixed master mayor. There you go.
And if he doesn't want to do it, I do have some other DJs.
Okay, wonderful. So we have, like half hour, 45-minute sets, depending on the performer, 15, 20 minutes in between for setup, takedown. It will be out in Municipal Park, not under the pavilion actually, or not under the gazebo. It's going to be in the, on the
the big
pavers
green- oh.
adjacent to the gazebo. Right? I know in my mind when we first said it, I was like, that seems like a really small area. It's not. It's quite large. So, so we're still trying to figure out the exact layout, and I'll make sure I get all that information to you. But yeah, we're looking, and then McMurray he will have a solid hour, probably more, for to close out the show.
Do we have to adjourn?
Yes, get a motion to adjourn.
Susie, I had one thing I wanted to,
Oh yeah, sorry, Rob.
I don't know that there's an ordinance, but on city property, it's the alleyway, there's some donation bins. I know I brought it up to you.
Oh yeah.
You know, how they got there, but, you know, it's something, I don't know if the DDA can sponsor the ordinance but they seem like they just ended up there.
Okay.
And nobody knows, and the business owner thought, you know, the city approved it. I can't find anywhere where the city approved it, but it's not technically on the city or the property owners. It's in the alley.
Okay.
So the alley is actually city property. So I'm trying to, of course, the number it's on there is incomplete, the phone number. But if we make them disappear, they might contact us. But it's a lot of trash around them, a lot of people diving in there to, I don't know if you guys had anybody, but they're at the old, right next to the DXL, there's a set of them, or 3 of them there.
Okay.
And there's nonstop trash there, and I've just been trying to contact the property owner. He's like, they're not mine, I didn't authorize them to be there.
Okay.
I keep cleaning up after them, but, just something that,
We'll have to talk. I'll make sure we talk to the city attorney too, because that would have to be. I don't know if it would have to be a It's either, it's either zoning or general code.
I know in Allen
Um,
Park, they limited it, so at first, when they first, 10 years ago or 12 years ago, when it became a for-profit business, they were just putting them up anywhere and everywhere and then moving them. But they're, they made an ordinance that limited the amount, but also, there's gotta be some type of approval, not just dropping, dropping,
Putting
dens down.
dumpsters down places,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't do that.
That's, that is totally not how you spell number. Let's get with the city attorney on the best way to move that kind of ordinance forward.
All right, anything further? Not take a motion to adjourn? You do.
Oh, do we need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right. All right, good, we adjourn. Thanks.
Thank you all.